He's dumped NVIDIA, he's dumped Broadcom, he's dumped TSMC, he's dumped Micron. These are all the big AI infrastructure companies. He sold the equity, so he sold the shares that he has, but he still has a massive long position open. So he's kind of freed up liquidity to shove money in other companies. And the major companies that he's put money into is power generation, particularly this company called Bloom Energy. They specifically build power generation turbines that help you generate power to power AI data centers. And he's built a massive position in this to the tune of $855 million. Maybe it says 876 here, but the filing says 855.
Bloom Energy being the number one position is different because it has absolutely nothing to do with the CHIPS Act, and it accounts for 20% of the entire portfolio. Yep. And I was doing some research on what they do, and it's actually kind of interesting. They create these like oxide fuel cells, which is a fancy way of generating electricity on site from natural gas. So a lot of times when natural gas is fed into these data centers, it has to go through a turbine, which like heats and cools things, and it's a very clunky energy creation process. What these Bloom boxes do is they take that natural gas and have a fuel cell that converts it right on site to usable electricity for the data centers. And it's modular. It can be deployed quickly. And there doesn't seem to be a shortage of it. I believe they're set to create 2 gigawatts of this just this year. So it's an interesting play on power because I was looking for the NVIDIA of energy. Like who is the chip maker but for energy? And I don't believe there is one. And there's a world in which perhaps Bloom could be that person, that company.
So I actually looked into their recent filings because they're a public company. They have a $20 billion demand backlog. Their revenue was up like something like 34% in 2025. And they're projecting another 40% increase in 2026 after that 2025 increase. So there's like no shortage of demand. You mentioned fuel oxide cells. The reason why their gas turbines specifically are super attractive is you don't need to rely on the energy grid for it. So I mentioned earlier, like right now we have an energy grid. There's a lot of constraint being put on there because humans need energy and so do AI data centers. So it tends to drive up the price of energy in the places that those AI data centers are set up. If you use something like Bloom Energy's gas turbines, you don't need to rely on the energy grid at all. You just kind of set it up right next to your AI data center and hey, presto, you now have energy at a cost-efficient price that you can now power to train or inference any of your GPUs and your data centers. So Broadcom and companies like CoreWeave are going to need this. So hyperscalers in general, as well as AI labs. It kind of reminds me of the, I don't know if you played Civilization ever, Josh. I feel like you did. We're kind of like moving infrastructure and power generation sources to your little silo or settlement to kind of grow it. And that's exactly what's happening here.